let's connect with Mr. Sushil Kemaru, Director and Group CFO with JSPL. JSPL came out with impressive set of numbers, even though the global macro and local macro conditions are tough. JSPL for the quarter gone by has registered or reported a revenue uptick of 42% and a profit uptick of 16.5%. Sushil, morning. Good to have you back on ET now. The environment is tough and your numbers are strong. What's the secret sauce? How did you manage to report strong numbers?
In fact, this is a result of a lot of work which was taking place in the last 4 years' time. We were trying to set up a pellet plant 4 years back, and that started giving us production and started giving us result. Pellet production and pellet sale has gone up very high in this present quarter. Now we are working at about 100% capacity, 24-25% pellet production and sales has gone up. And we are also trying to increase the steel sales. That also has gone up 24-25%. We were having a metallic shortfall, which in this quarter and the last quarter, partially to some extent, we have covered by importing HBI from our own subsidiary unit in Oman. So that has given us a tremendous rise in turnover, and we are planning to do the same in the next quarter also. And the profit has come from pellets and the marginal increase in the steel price. Power in our captive in JSPL also has done very well. As you are aware that we are setting up 10 into 135 megawatt. 6 units are now operational, and they have also done quite well in this quarter. And that's the result, combined result of all these 3 activities. You have seen a rise in the turnover and the profit.
Right. Sushil, I was just coming to that point that you made about pellet sales. They've seen a phenomenal 200% jump in sales this time around. What is the realization per ton from this segment?
See, realization is varying anywhere from 7,500 to 8,500. But what we have seen, the tough ground realities for iron ore mining, so the pellet demand has gone up very high and the realization is good. And in fact, the government is also encouraging that rather than export of fines, we must do a value addition. Fines gets converted into pellets and utilized within the country. That's good for the iron ore scenario also. And since we set up the first plant, the big size plant in India, which became operational, and that's the reason the demand is high, the sale is high, prices are high, and the profits are good.
Sushil, at JSPL, for FY13, for your iron ore requirement and for your coal requirement, are you dependent on external capacity, or you have 100% captive mines and coal mines and iron ore mines in place?
No, we in fact do buy iron ore also, but we have a long-term arrangement. So iron ore we are able to manage comfortably well within the whole system. And coal requirement, coking coal requirement, we are importing 100%. We don't have our own captive mine right now, though we are trying to acquire captive coking coal mines. So 100%, about something about 1.2 million ton we are importing every year. And thermal coal, we have our own coking coal, our own thermal coal mines, and we don't import any thermal coal from anywhere.
Sushil, what about margins in the first quarter? While margins have been good in the Q4, that is the current quarter, but what about the future trajectory? Because coking coal prices have cooled off, and that is going to impact your margin performance as well.
In fact, the coking coal prices are going down, the margins will go up, because I don't expect the steel prices also to go down simultaneously, because a lot of ground related problems, and many medium-sized steel companies are having a lot of problems in procuring coal and iron ore from within India and jack up their production. So that steel prices will remain firm, and reduction in the cost will certainly aid to the margin. So it should be good going forward also.
Sushil, merchant power prices have virtually collapsed, and most of the state electricity boards are on the verge of bankruptcy. So what is the future of your power business?
See, if you must be seeing the trend which is happening of late, where the Ministry of Law has issued a circular saying that direct consumers of more than 1 megawatt can write a letter to distribution companies and can go ahead and source the power directly from generators. We have come out with an aid in the paper to supply power to ultimate consumers directly for more than 5 megawatt, and we got a very good response. And very recently, central government has also issued a letter to regulators that those who want to buy power directly and the open access should be given to them. So the future trend is that all the industrial consumers, they will compare that what price they are getting from ICBs, and if they are not getting from ICBs, they have to run the diesel generators. What's the cost of that, and what's the cost of buying power directly from generators? And that's the trend that has started taking place, and it's going to gain momentum, and that's where the merchant prices will play a major role again, and that's where the future lies.
Right. So, Sushil, could you tell us when exactly are you expecting your coal mine approval to kick in? Because you've been facing some issues there.
No, whatever our projects, whatever our plants are running right now, we already have a coal mines, and those coal mines are producing very well for our need. So we don't have any problem for regular operations. In fact, we don't have any problem for seeing for next 2 years, 3 years our requirement also. The problem what we are facing is an ongoing problem for the new projects what we are setting up. And normally we start work on many approvals much ahead of the project coming up. So we have a lot of lead time available with us, so we don't see any problem. I mean, as in India, every company is facing problem. We are also facing problem. So we'll take care of it before the projects what we envisage, where those mines are connected to come on stream. So really no problem for the operation as such.
Right. What's the capex that you've planned for FY13 going forward, and any fundraising plan in the offing for the same?
We have a plan of steel and power together. We'll be spending about 10,000 crores, and a lot of fund has already been tied up. Some is still to be tied up. So whatever small amount is left out will tie up in the current year, but not a big amount required to be tied up. Lastly, we have already tied up for money to be spent in the current financial year.
Right, Mr. Maru, for the quarter gone by, you've reported a patch number of 1167, which is a 16% growth. So if I assume that the same run rate is here to stay for FY13, which is the current financial year, are you on course to report a $1 billion PAT?
See, if you are talking of the consolidated number 1161, in fact, this is the highest ever the company has achieved so far in last 10 years. And going forward, the steel plant are getting commissioned, the plate mill getting commissioned in the current financial year. There are 10 units of 135 megawatt. They will deliver in the current year full capacity. So yes, the current financial year is on a good course.